Just downloaded this app that you see here on the screen earlier this week. It's called Display Recorder. And what it does is records everything that's going on the display and also my voice as I narrate what I'm doing. I'm going to use it to demonstrate a few different tricks and tips that you can do with your iPad. Okay, for tip number one, I want to show you how you can use the screen capture feature of your iPad and then use that captured photo and send it to your customer. So in this scenario I'm putting together, let's say a customer calls me and needs a display breakdown. So I'm going to go into iBooks, going to go into my MCAT display breakdown, and I'll just pick a page. What do we have? Sanford. So I'm going to, let's say they need a breakdown on this Sanford 37224 Sharpie paint marker display. Well, I can expand it here, and then I can take a screenshot of it rather than sending them the whole catalog or telling them to go on the internet and looking or calling customer service or any of those options. But to take a screenshot, what you do, you hold the button down on the top of your screen, the button that you normally use to shut down your iPad or to start it up. And word of warning, only hold it briefly or you'll get a pop-up message asking if you want to shut down. But hold it and then simultaneously push the home screen button at the bottom of the screen. So I'm going to do it here, holding it down, pushing the home screen, and you saw a flash and you heard a click that sounded like a camera. So now I'm going to close this. That took a picture, a JPEG, and puts it in my photo roll. And let me go into my photos. It puts it as your last photo. So I'm going to open it. It thinks it's a JPEG. Well, it doesn't think it is. It is a JPEG, even though it looks like that sheet we had. So now that I've got that, I can tap on the screen, click on the box, the third from the top right with the little square with the arrow, and then I have my option to email. Well, since this is just an object lesson, I'm going to send it to myself and not to some customer. And hit send, and well, I didn't put, let me cancel, I'm going to put a subject line in, Sanford display. And I've tried this a couple times and it hasn't turned out, so it knew I was going to try to type Sanford, so I'll just put Sanford DY. And I'm going to hit send, and in a second you'll hear the swish as it takes off to send it. So that's how easy it is to send anything to your customer that you can get a picture of on your screen. For instance, let me go back into iBook, and I could open an eCat catalog picture and do the same thing. If they had to have a picture of something that was in our eCat, I could do the same thing. Let's say it was a cross, take a picture and send it to them. So anyway, that's just a quick tip on using the screen capture and then being able to email it to your customer. Okay, for tip number two, I wanted to show you how to organize your icons, how to create some folders, and how to even put your most important icons for your applications on your dock. So to start out, I'm going to start with this page here. Let me hold on one of the icons so that they start jiggling around. And you'll notice that the bottom row, every one of them has a round circle with an X in it. Any of those could be deleted, including the alarm clock in the middle of the top row. If I click on the X, it gives me the option, there we go, to delete it. And it gives you the warning box first so you don't delete something by accident. I'm going to cancel that because I don't want to really delete it. But I want to organize my icons. But let's say that the one on the bottom row on the far left, display recorder, which is what I'm using to record this tip, I want to move it to the next page. So I just hold on it and move it over here and let go, and now it's on a different page. But now the bottom three icons are all webinar applications, and I want to put them in one folder. But before I do that, I showed you how to move them. I could move them anywhere, but I'm going to create a folder. So I'm going to take WebEx, the one in the center or the bottom row on the right, and just hold on it and drag it over on top of the fuse icon and let go, and it creates a folder. It gives it a name. It's calling it business, but I don't like business as a name, so I'm going to erase that. And I'm going to use webinar as the name, which will probably pop up our webinars. There we go. Because I actually had this folder and took everything out of it to demonstrate. Now I've got 2 of my 3 icons in there. Touch the desktop again so I can get back to the other icon. I'm going to drag it over on the folder, and now I have all 3 of them in the folder. But let's say for whatever reason I decided, I really don't want GoToMeeting in there because I use it all the time, so I'm just going to drag it back out, let go, and it's on the desktop again. But I'm going to put it back in the folder. So that's how to create a folder and organize similar icons together. Down at the bottom at the dock, I have 4 icons currently on there. Normally I have 6, but you can have up to 6 icons. And what you want to do is put your most used and most important applications on the dock. I normally have photos and contacts on there, but I took them off just to demonstrate. But I'm going to touch on contacts and just drag down to the dock and hold for a second and let go. And the same with photos. I'm going to drag it down there and let go. So now I have 6 icons. These are the ones, for whatever reason, I decided that I want on my dock. And it doesn't matter which page I'm on. As you see the right above the iBooks and Mail, there's the little dots. It tells me which page I'm on. But those 6 icons are always available to me. So again, put your most important ones down there, and they'll always be available for you. So that's all for this tip. For this third tip, I want to show you 2 different ways that you can lock your screen or you can mute your screen. The first method is going in through Settings, going to General Settings, which is highlighted there, and then sliding up on the right side. I've stopped there. Right across from General, you'll see it says Use Side Switch To, and you have 2 options. You can lock your rotation or you can mute. I normally have mine set on mute, but I could set it to lock rotation. And the switch it's talking about is on the top right side of your iPad screen. There's a toggle switch to toggle your volume up or down, and right above it there's a little switch that you can pull down, and when I do, as I'm going to do right now, you can see it's telling me I have my screen locked. You saw a lock appear inside the circle with an arrow on the end. So I'm going to unlock it right now, and it tells me you see the lock disappeared. I'm going to switch it back to mute, and because I'm recording this video, if I switch it to mute right now, you won't hear me talking, which could be a blessing. But anyway, you can either use the switch on the side to lock your screen or to mute your volume. So I'm going to leave it on mute, and I'm going to close this. I'm going to show you the second method. You can use the 4-finger swipe upwards, and you'll see what's open. And I'm going to put my finger on Settings, and I'm going to pull from the left to the right to get to the additional options. Now on the far side, you'll see I have a lock option. So when I touch that, it's going to lock the screen, and it tells you at the bottom that it's locked in landscape mode, and I'm going to unlock it. Now if I had used the toggle switch in the general settings and left that on lock, instead of having the lock option here in the dock, I would have a mute option that I could touch and mute the sound. So you can mute from or lock from this option as well as from general settings.